So what I recommend is just to get you in a good routine where you don't need to spend money right away. I would recommend that you're pulling numbers from Crexia and CoStar to start, and let's just get
Yep.
you in the right routine. And once you're actually doing it consistently, and you can see that from past history, then it might make sense to invest in the next software.
Kind of a game plan that I had in mind as well. Makes sense.
Perfect. So
Use what I have available.
100%. Yeah, I would just recommend using what you have available for now. And then let's get you into a good routine first. So, what I'm going to recommend is the following. Okay. Today, I'm going to say I want to come up with a strategic plan for the next 90 days together minimum. Because
Okay.
the next 90 days is just about building the muscle. It's about building the muscle specifically around the best habits in your business. Because I want to take a step now further, which is the $1 million earner, okay, version of you is going to be doing what on a regular basis?
Lead generation and lead follow-up and
Okay, so hold on, let's get
lead,
real clear though. I agree
lead
with you,
conversion.
right? So I agree 100% because let's just go one step at a time. Consistent lead generation, right, was the first thing you said. How much time and when?
I'd say 3 hours a day.
From
I
what
give
time to what time? So I like it. 3 hours a day. Okay, cool.
10 to 1,
10 to 1. Okay. Is when do you get to the office and you're like, I'm working now?
10.
10 o'clock. Okay. What do you do before 10 o'clock? Is that like family time?
I'll give you my routine. I get up 5:30 and I do like a some prayer time and I do like a devotional and then I walk the dog. I work out. So that's typically, a good hour and a half there. And then I have my breakfast and then get ready for work.
Being a part of
Or,
here, like again, I'm going to be direct. You're talking about 5:30 wake up, which again, like, look, I love prayer, I love walking the dog, and I love working out. I do literally almost the same three things right when I wake up as well. So I'm doing the same three things, but I'm getting to work at like 7:30 at the latest. So
okay.
I'm wondering where's the other 2.5 hours going, is my point. How long are
Uh,
you spending on prayer?
the devotion time is about an hour,
Okay.
roughly.
I
Word of
can I can
devotion.
respect that. That's fine.
And
Walking the
then
dog's 15 minutes.
walking the dogs way more than that. It's about an hour.
Can
And
we,
then
is there a way to drop that down? Because I'm saying,
uh,
look, you're spending, all I'm saying is the $1 million version of you who's got his business cranking. I'm not talking about right now. I'm saying the premier version of what you're capable of. That version of you, I'm imagining is going to start working before 10 o'clock in the morning. So don't get me wrong, the individual of you who maybe has been making $1 million a year plus net after taxes, who has a team of individuals who are supporting him in doing that, right? Where he is not the sole provider of the income in the organization, where your accounts have several $1 million in it, maybe you own a bunch of real estate, right? Like, and you've cranked on every single bit of your capacity. That version of you who's done that for a few years probably can come into the office at 10 o'clock. But the version of you who's going to build it, there's no way you're starting work at 10 o'clock. All I'm trying to say to you is that, like, we're going to take some baby steps, right? I'm going to slowly just give you some kind of 2 cents here, which is like, this is even a conversation I had to have with myself, which is like, you can get comfortable really easily, like we were talking about. So it's like, if we talk about millionaire, multi-millionaire version of you, that version of you, what time can he commit to working? I'm not saying tomorrow, by the way. I'm just saying that version of you.
I mean, I could make it in by 9, I guess.
Cool. All right, fine. Look, all I'm saying is watch, because what I want to do is I want to say, and how soon do you think you can get to coming into the office by 9 o'clock? Is that a tomorrow thing, or is that like a 90-day game plan? As I think you could do that in probably 2 weeks or
I
less.
can probably start that next week.
Okay, cool. Great. Again, my intention here is to do small baby steps that don't feel crazy so that it can feel comfortable in your body doing these actions. Because if I said, hey, get to the office tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning, you're not doing that. So it's like, great. So let's just say 9 o'clock in the morning. New version of you is going to say 9 a.m. Now, 9 to 12, as an example, could be your prospecting time, 3 hours. All right. We're in agreement there?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we got 3 hours of prospecting. That is only outbound dialing. That is
Okay.
outbound dialing. That's outbound email. That's outbound text message. You're not allowed to respond to a message. Don't answer a phone call. The whole purpose of that 9 to 12 is just to handle outbound everything. And I would even tell you what I always like to do first, by the way. So if you're getting to the office at 9, I'm guessing you're not going to start dialing at 9 o'clock. Because if you're
Uh,
like opening the door to your office at 9 o'clock in the morning, you're probably like, that doesn't count as not dialing time. So what I would even say is, how much time do you think you need to be settled? I want to be as realistic as possible here, where you could be in front of your computer like you are with a phone in your hand dialing.
I don't know, 9:30?
Okay, cool. So what I want to do though is say let's do 9 o'clock to you have 9 to 9:15 to get settled. And then from 9:15, I want you to add a 9:15, okay, to 9:30. And by the way, 9:30 on the nose, you can set a timer. Your phone is dialing at 9:30. It's not like I'm going to start the process because then the process takes 5 minutes to get set up. So the point is 9:15 to 9:30, which I do this, which I'm about to describe to you, from 7:30 to 7:45, maybe 8 a.m. at the latest. Because I have a meeting with my executive assistant at 7:45 in the morning every day. Sometimes my morning meeting with myself, which I'm about to describe to you, takes a little bit longer. But this 15-minute meeting, by the way, I also do with all of my team members. So I have one by myself, and then I have one with my executive assistant, and then I have a 15-minute call with basically, it's a group call, but with all of my team members. And they're all individually doing this, which is they go through three quick things. Number one, red flags. You have 15 minutes to cover this, by the way, 9:15 to 9:30. You're covering red flags. Red flag is basically anything that a deal's going to fall apart, a client hates your guts, you got a termination agreement, anything that happens that essentially needs your attention immediately. Second thing is a to-do list. Now, I'm not a huge fan of to-do lists, but I like to get things done. And without a list, you don't know what you need to get done versus not. The whole purpose of your to-do list is to make sure you write everything that has to be done today or you can't leave your office. I like to kind of separate my to-do list into two sections. One is I have to get it done today or I can't leave my office. And then I have a bottom part, which is a running list of all the items that have to get checked off. Project, and then you can add things like projects and other things. Again, you can have like marketing campaigns as an example. You want to do a new thing on social media. You want to hire a new employee, all that kind of stuff. You're not going to do that in one day. That'll be a project, but like today must do list, right? That's at the top. So like follow up with John, call Sally, right? Whatever it is, that has to be done. Last thing you're going to do is you're going to set your goals for today. Goals for me, I literally write the same thing down every single day, which is this little post-it note here. And on this post-it note, I just write the same thing every single day. I write down, this is for me, 2 seller leads every day, 2 offers written every day, and then 2 deals accepted every day from my team. That's what I write down personally. And then I write down 2 like big vision things, which I write down make $20 million. And then I wrote down on here $1 million deal because I want to do a deal that I make over $1 million on. But basically I have that post-it note and it literally just sits right in front of me every day. But the reason why I do this is because again, I'm setting my intentions. I know exactly. So the second I leave this meeting, I have my red flags written out. I know exactly who I need to call immediately. I got my to-do list written. I got my project list ongoing. So I know what exactly needs to be done in my life for me to become successful and not feel stressed. It's not all in my head. And then I have my post-it in front of me, which I always just like to use post-its because I can reuse them 1,000 times over. I have my post-its and that just has my goals for today. This way, by the time 9:30 starts, your mind is clean. You're not always thinking about all these things I have to do. It's all on a list. It's organized. You got it ready to go. So what's going to happen here is that I would even tell you to spend however long it takes. Let me say it differently. I would tell you that by 9:30, you should not have only had everything I just told you to have done, but you should have already called your red flags. So you have 15 minutes to handle everything. The meeting itself should take 5 to 10 minutes, maybe at most. At most 10 minutes. And red flags is literally a quick phone call. My point is, what I want you to think about it is, a lot of people, when I say like, oh, why don't we have a meeting today? Right? Like a lot of you've done team meetings before, right?
Yeah.
What's your typical like go-to when you say, let's have a meeting today? How long in your mind is that meeting?
30 to 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Perfect, right? Most people say 30 minutes to an hour. For me, longest meetings are 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Longest. Okay. Most of my meetings are 15. And I try to do most of my meetings in 5 minutes, right? Because I don't have the time to just talk, right? It's like, what is the problem we're trying to solve on the agenda? Let's solve it and let's go do some work. So it's like, I try to get through my things as fast as I possibly can. There's no dilly-dallying, whatever, right? I just want to get through the meeting as fast as I can, get the job done, move on. So this entire meeting, 5 minutes or 10 minutes max with yourself, 5 to 10 minutes max to handle all the red flags. You're just calling everybody on your red flag list. If they don't answer you, by the way, you handle it after your prospecting session. The reason why I say all this is because by 9:30, I want you to be clean slated. This means you're settled. You've done your morning meeting with yourself, call it CEO time. You've handled that. You handled the red flags. 9:30, your dialer's open. I got my lead list going. And I'm ready to go. Call it 9:30 on the nose. And I would tell you to go to at least 12:30/1 p.m. Whatever it takes to do the following, okay? Because 3 hours is one benchmark. But what most people make the mistake of doing is that they only look at it from the amount of time they dialed, not the actual result they got dialing.